group. My name is Will Murphy.
Rachel Rosenblum, Catherine Wells, Christine DeVernon, Victoria Shiroba.
And we are planning to bring Adidas into Kenya. Our vision is to provide the best possible footwear for athletes of all disciplines, and really this means creating a high-quality product that will embody our three brand image qualities of performance, luxury, and durability. We're proud to say that we're a pioneer in the sports industry. We're the first business to incorporate or sponsor athletes and events, and really incorporate this into as a living and breathing marketing tool where we tailored our product line to these individual sponsorships and partnerships. This is something we continue to do today, and we believe that it really enhances our success. We're a global leader in sports apparel and equipment, the leader in market sales in Europe, as well as in most of Asia, and rapidly growing in Latin America. And our really ultimate goal is to be the leading sports brand in the world. Kenya has a population of about 35 million people, with over half of this population under the age of 15. There's a really, really large socioeconomic gap. There's a very, very tiny upper and middle class with a very big impoverished population of roughly 46%. There are deep ethnic divisions, which gives way to a collectivist society. Kenya is really, the Kenyan population and people are very tied to their tribal lines, connected to they're defined by their tribe. Family systems in the past 10 years or so have been evolving into much more nuclear family systems. So people are getting married later in life, having children later in life, and this, on the average, increases a person's disposable income. Sports culture is huge, particularly running and soccer. The legal environment of Kenya is based and rooted in that of its former colonizer, Great Britain. It follows the Constitution of Kenya. There are a lot of ambiguities, which really leads to vast interpretations, a lot of bureaucratic loopholes. That leads to corruption, and while Kenya has done a lot to combat this, it really hasn't been effective as of yet.
In December 2007, Kenya held parliamentary and presidential elections. These elections were supposed to show the world that Kenya was a stable democratic society. However, the presidential election results were returned faulty, and rioting ensued. There were 1,500 deaths and 500,000 people displaced. Many businesses chose to withdraw from the Kenyan market at this time. The country has an extreme prevalence of corruption. It is ranked 147 out of 180 in the International Transparency Index. There are expected to be, in about half of all business transactions, some form of bribery.
For the economic conditions, as Christine mentioned, Kenya is currently facing a difficult time right now, and because of that, the economy has been greatly affected. GDP in 2008 declined mainly due to a decline in tourism and foreign direct investment. Many investors withdrew their funds not only from Kenya but also from other East African countries because they saw if Kenya, who's the most developed and economic powerhouse of East Africa, could not survive, then how could other East African countries? In addition, however, Adidas also sees there's many positive factors that would draw us in. One being is that foreign direct investment increased by 1,000% from 2006 to 2007, which means that Kenya does have different resources that entice investors to invest. So we see this as a perfect opportunity to invest currently right now. And also, for expectations for Kenya, they're supposed to rebound from this political crisis, and the economy is also supposed to rebound and continue to grow to about a real growth GDP percentage of 8% in the coming years. And also, many of our competitors have not entered or have withdrawn because of Kenya's current crisis, so we feel that we could have that first mover advantage if we did enter now.
So in Kenya, there are basically 4 competitors. Bata, which has been in Kenya since the 1930s, currently has 80 stores throughout the country. They have a very strong brand image, and it's a family-owned company, and that caters well with the Kenyan people. And they're currently trying to expand even more. However, they do face threats from the counterfeit and the secondhand trade market. Also, we have the secondhand shoe trade market, which is currently expanding because of the recession in Kenya. And there was a counterfeit bill that was passed in 2008 that's supposed to combat that, combat any illegal secondhand trade. And we also have the counterfeit market, which shoes make up a large portion of that. And because of the recession, that has also been increasing. However, the counterfeit bill is supposed to combat that or stop it. And we also have Nike. It's not currently in Kenya, but there's a potential for Nike to enter the Kenyan market. As we all know, Nike has a strong brand image. They have a strong organizational culture. However, we are also going to combat the problems with secondhand trade and counterfeit market in Kenya.
Our potential target market is gender neutral, men and women above age 15. We, excluding tourists, have the number of 7 million people. We get that number from the knowledge that 20% of the Kenyan population owns over half of the nation's generated income. So it's a very small portion. 20% of 35 million people is 7 million. Consumers in Kenya pay very, very close attention to brand image. They're specifically attracted to international brands right now. American and European brands are perceived as being of much higher quality. Expression through fashion is a trend that we're noticing, while Adidas has generally really attracted a consumer with an active lifestyle. Right now we're seeing that people on a more fashion-conscious lifestyle are really attracted to Adidas and are buying it for that use as well. Our other market is the tourist industry, which has declined in the wake of the political crisis in 2007, but is expected to make a really big comeback by 2011. Prior to the political crisis, at the beginning of 2007, it was actually the second highest earning industry for Kenya, and we expect that as the economy recovers, this will as well.
Adidas has chosen to enter Kenya as a way of contract manufacturing due to high associated costs with power and political insecurity. Joint ventures have been typically common in Kenya, but recently they have not worked out due to limited government pushing. The government typically says that they support companies to go in and hire management the way that they see fit, but they always have an idea of how the organization should be run. So Adidas has chosen to contract manufacture an assembly plant rather than a joint venture. Franchising is not typically done in Kenya because the government doesn't really know much about it or how they operate.
Adidas plans on entering Kenya, continuing the use of its trefoil and freeze-dried trademarks to ensure brand recognition. We want to let people know that we are a quality brand. We hope that our consumers will associate Adidas' global status with quality. When we are entering Kenya, we have chosen only to enter with a limited product line. We're going to introduce casual footwear, running shoes, and soccer shoes. We hope that our consumers will associate our soccer and running shoes as a quality and durable athletic footwear. However, our casual shoe will be introduced as kind of like a nicer shoe that you could wear out. We also plan on tackling counterfeiting head-on with a zero-tolerance policy. We will work with customs officials to ensure that the occurrence of this happening is not as often. We plan to educate our retailers on our warranty, which is our global. It's pretty standardized across the board. If people are unsatisfied, then they can definitely return their shoe. We plan on being able to have a pretty educated retailers since Kenya's population, they have a 40% unemployment rate, so we believe that we can definitely ensure quality.
For price, our price will include 3 specific costs that we have, one being market conditions, the second being assembly, and the third being transportation. However, the main factor that we'll have to account for is inflation. Their inflation hovers around 30%, which is pretty drastic.